9 ways a woman greeting reveals her attraction to you. 99% of men don't know this. Modern Stoic. The way a woman greets you can speak louder than 1,000 words, and yet 99% of men miss the message completely. The soul, like the body, accepts by degrees, said Aristotle, and in those first few seconds of contact, her smile, her eyes, her tone, she's already revealing everything. I remember once at a social event, a woman I'd never met before walked up, greeted me with a warmth that wasn't ordinary. Her smile lingered, her eye contact held steady, and when she laughed, she touched my arm, softly, deliberately. That night, I walked away confused, second-guessing every detail. Was it interest, or was I overthinking it? That question haunted me until I dove deep into psychology and Stoic philosophy and realized there are patterns, there are clues. These greetings aren't random. The Stoics taught us not to be fooled by words, but to examine actions, because the truth is in what's done, not what's said. And in this video, I'm not giving you some fluffy guesses. I'm revealing 9 specific, powerful ways a woman's greeting reveals her attraction, ways that modern psychology confirms and ancient Stoic wisdom already knew. Marcus Aurelius said, "If someone is able to show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change, for I seek the truth." This is your moment to seek that truth, not through fantasy, but through observation. Every nod, every glance, every slight lean forward or gentle laugh, it's a language, and once you understand it, you'll walk into any room and read the room like a master. So if you've ever felt that familiar doubt, is she into me? Zrenia, we're about to clear the fog. And before we begin, if you're new here, welcome to Blessing of Stoicism, and this is where we fuse timeless masculine wisdom with real-life emotional mastery. Hit subscribe. And as we go through these signs, think back to your own life. Have you missed one of these before? Or did something feel off, but now you get it? Share it in the comments. I read everyone. This isn't just about attraction. It's about sharpening your perception, trusting your instincts, and becoming the kind of man who no longer chases signals, but calmly recognizes them. All right, ready to unlock what she's really telling you in those first few seconds? Let's get into it. Way 1. She compliments you. First, when she compliments you. Compliments are like little gifts. Compliments, as we all know, can be powerful tools that uplift our spirits, boost our self-esteem, and make us feel appreciated. In Stoic philosophy, the wise and restrained individual understands the importance of receiving praise with humility. But when a compliment comes from a woman, especially one who is deliberate in her words, it should not be ignored. A compliment about your appearance, your achievements, or your personality is not simply a polite comment. It's a deeper form of communication that expresses admiration, even desire. According to the ancient Stoic philosopher Seneca, a man's worth is measured by what he is, not by what he is called. Therefore, when a woman compliments you, it speaks volumes about her perception of you, and it is important to acknowledge this without becoming overly flattered or distracted. Her compliment might be about how well you carry yourself in a particular situation, or how your confidence and demeanour make an impression. These aren't just idle words. They come from a place of genuine appreciation and perhaps deeper feelings. The warmth in her voice, the sincerity in her tone, and the specificity of her words can reveal much more than a simple compliment. They might be revealing a silent desire, a longing that transcends polite social interaction. In the realm of Stoic wisdom, such moments are opportunities for self-reflection. A compliment from a woman is not an invitation to act impulsively or without thought, but rather an opportunity to maintain composure and respond with poise, showing your strength and restraint. Remember the Stoic teaching from Epictetus? We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. This is a moment to listen to her words carefully and interpret her true meaning. It's not just about what is said, but how it is said and the circumstances surrounding it. The compliment could very well be a simple expression of respect and admiration, or it might be a sign of deeper feelings. Whatever the case, take it in stride, reflecting on your own emotional control and responses. Acknowledge her words with grace and don't let them alter your inner peace. Stay grounded in your Stoic philosophy, but also be mindful of the dynamics at play. We can all learn to master our emotions and remain steadfast in the face of temptation. Way 2. Her voice changes around you. Next, pay attention to her voice. If it suddenly softens, becomes warmer, or takes on a melodic tone when she greets you, that's not random. People subconsciously modulate their voice around those they are emotionally drawn to. A lighter tone, subtle laughter in her voice, or slower speech patterns can all signal she's enjoying your presence and wants to extend the moment. From a Stoic lens, this is a moment of presence, where her emotions slip past the mask of polite social behaviour. Marcus Aurelius reminded us to penetrate beneath the surface. The tone she uses may reveal more truth than the words themselves, and this is where a Stoic man pays close attention, not to overanalyze or get swept away by fantasy, but to observe clearly without emotional bias. You see, when a woman alters her voice around you, she's not just speaking, she's letting her guard down, revealing a layer of comfort and interest that words can never fully articulate. Think of it like music. 2 songs might have the same lyrics, but one moves you to tears because of how it's sung. Her voice is doing the same, transmitting feelings in frequencies that your logical mind might ignore, but your instincts can recognize. In a world of surface-level interactions, tone is often the hidden language of desire. Even ancient Stoics knew that what is not said often speaks louder than what is. Epictetus said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." A high-value man knows that listening isn't just about hearing words. It's about detecting shifts in energy, tone, and intention. When she greets you with a voice that sounds different, softer, sweeter, or more playful than how she talks to others, this is not coincidence. This is choice. It is an unconscious way of saying, "You matter to me more than the others around us." But remember, do not rush in to assume or react. A Stoic man does not move on impulse. He listens. He gathers signs. He keeps his inner stillness. He lets the truth unfold naturally. If her tone holds warmth, reflect on it, but don't chase it. Because sometimes, when you mirror that calm confidence, her tone stays gentle, her words linger longer, and her eyes begin to reveal even more than her voice did. That is when you truly know. It wasn't just talk, it was connection. So I challenge you, the next time she greets you, close your mouth and open your senses. Notice how she speaks to you versus others. Watch how her tone dances just a little differently when you walk into the room. And when you see it, when you hear it, don't just react. Smile internally. Stay grounded. Let her attraction be the music that plays softly while you remain the calm conductor of your own emotional symphony. As always, I want to hear from you. Have you ever noticed a woman's voice change around you in a way that made you pause and wonder? If you've ever felt that shift in her voice, that warmth meant only for you, drop this in the comments right now. I listen to what's unspoken. Way 3. She mirrors your behaviour. Now let's talk about the third sign, when she mirrors your behaviour. Mirroring is a subconscious behaviour where someone mimics your body language, tone of voice, or even your gestures. It's a powerful way of building rapport and creating a sense of connection. Imagine you're having a conversation with her, and you notice she's subtly copying your movements. If you lean forward, she leans forward. If you smile, she smiles back. This is a natural way of showing that she's in sync with you and feels a sense of connection. But let's dig deeper through the lens of Stoic awareness, because this sign is more than just mimicry. It's a silent signal of harmony. In Stoicism, we're taught to observe without judgment, to see things as they are, and not be swept away by fleeting emotions. When a woman begins to mirror your behaviour, it's not always a conscious choice. It's instinctual. Her subconscious is saying, "I feel safe here. I trust you. I want to match your energy." This isn't something most men pick up on, but it's a strong cue that she's drawn to you emotionally. The ancient Stoics like Epictetus advised, "Practice yourself, for heaven's sake, in little things, and thence proceed to greater." That's the game here. Spotting subtle cues like mirroring is a little thing, but when you start recognizing them without overreacting, you move like a man of deeper awareness, of calm precision. Let's say you're sitting across from her in a quiet coffee shop, and as you adjust your posture or rest your chin on your hand, you catch her doing the same. You take a sip of your drink, and seconds later, she lifts her glass. This is not coincidence. It's her non-verbal way of telling you she's engaged with you on a deeper level. In today's fast-paced dating world, words are cheap. People say whatever sounds good, but actions, subtle, unspoken actions, are pure gold to a Stoic observer. And mirroring is one of those actions that speaks louder than compliments or rehearsed flirtation. If you try to test her feelings by chasing validation or pressing her for answers, you lose the frame. But when you simply observe and stay grounded, you hold power. You're the calm center she wants to orbit around. Real-life application? Next time you're with her, test this subtly. Cross your arms, lean slightly to one side, or nod slowly and observe if she follows suit within a few seconds. Don't force it. Don't rush to judgment. Just notice. If she mirrors you consistently, it's not random, it's resonance. It's chemistry unfolding quietly. But here's the Stoic twist. Whether she mirrors you or not, you remain unchanged. Because your peace isn't tied to whether she likes you or not. Your self-worth isn't on trial. You are already enough. You observe signs not to feed ego or insecurity, but to move wisely through connection. And if she mirrors you, that's a bonus. A nod from the universe. A whisper that says she sees something in you. But even if she doesn't, you walk on, untouched, composed, and sovereign. As Seneca once wrote, "He who is brave is free, so be brave enough to see the truth without needing it to go your way." Gentlemen, mirroring isn't magic, it's biology meeting emotion. And if you learn to read it without being ruled by it, you become a man of rare presence in a world full of noise. Drop a comment below. Have you ever noticed someone mirroring your posture or energy? Did you take it as a sign of interest, or did you miss it at the time? Let's talk about it. Your experiences might help another man sharpen his observation. And remember, stay calm, stay focused, and never stop studying the art of silence. Way 4. She uses your name with intentional warmth. She uses your name with intentional warmth, and that, my friend, is no accident. In fact, it's one of the most underestimated yet psychologically potent signs of attraction that 99% of men completely overlook. When a woman greets you and gently slips your name into the first few seconds of the conversation with a soft smile, steady eye contact, or just that slightly slowed down rhythm, it's not just etiquette, it's emotion. It's not just social grace. It's strategic intimacy. Names carry power, and she knows it. Think about it. Why do salesmen use your name when they try to close a deal? Why do leaders like Dale Carnegie say, "A person's name is to that person the sweetest and most important sound in any language"? Because the name is the key to psychological presence. It makes a conversation personal, intimate, magnetic. When she uses your name more than once in a short span, especially with softness, affection, or subtle emphasis, it's her subconscious way of anchoring a connection. She's not just talking to you, she's reaching for you. And that's no accident. That's deliberate closeness. It's her way of saying, without saying it directly, "You matter to me." Now here's where the Stoic wisdom comes in. Epictetus once said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." As a modern Stoic, your job isn't to react emotionally, it's to observe with precision. So don't get carried away with fantasies. Instead, be calm, be grounded, and simply take note. When a woman greets you and uses your name like it's poetry, like it carries weight, you must understand what's being communicated beneath the surface. In this world full of empty noise and transactional chatter, A woman who uses your name with warmth and intention is revealing a flicker of real attention, maybe even affection. And that's your cue to lean in, not with desperation, but with awareness, curiosity, and calm mastery. In everyday life, most men are so distracted or insecure they completely miss these subtle yet meaningful cues. Don't be that man. Be the man who notices, the man who sees what others miss, the man who listens not just to words, but to tone, timing, and energy. Reverse psychology also plays its role here. If you respond with composure instead of excitement, with mystery instead of eagerness, you shift the dynamic in your favor. She feels it, and that contrast draws her in deeper. If you're still unsure whether she's attracted to you, replay how she greeted you in your mind and ask, did she use your name? Did she say it with light in her voice, softness in her eyes? That's your answer. Now, if this insight hit you deep, if you've ever experienced this and didn't realize it until now, comment below with the phrase, "Now I see the signs." Don't keep this wisdom to yourself. Comment, and share this with a brother who needs to hear it. And make sure to subscribe for more real talk, real power, and modern Stoic truths that put you back in control of your love life. Because once you learn to read her greeting, you're no longer just reacting to life, you're mastering it. Way 5. She asks personal questions. When a woman begins to ask you questions that dive deep into your personal world, beyond the typical, "How's your day?" you're no longer engaging in surface-level talk. You're being invited into a more intimate emotional space, and that should trigger your awareness, not inflate your ego. Questions about your daily routines, childhood memories, regrets, or even your emotional wounds, those aren't asked lightly. They're subtle signals, often sent unconsciously, that she's trying to connect with you on a level that stretches beyond what her current relationship should permit. This is where your discipline as a modern Stoic is most crucial. Epictetus taught, "It is not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them," and that quote lives at the heart of this lesson. When she leans in and asks you things that make your heart pause, don't immediately assume it's affection. It could be emotional confusion. That's why discernment must become your compass. Don't get lost in the flattering attention. Analyze it. Ask yourself, what is she really searching for, and why is she looking for it in me? You see, in a world where emotional lines are blurred by friendly smiles and playful curiosity, the Stoic man must master the art of emotional clarity. You are not responsible for fulfilling the emotional gaps in someone else's life, especially if they've made commitments elsewhere. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy," which, in this context, means don't let emotional chaos pull you off your path. Your strength is your stillness. Let her curiosity reflect her story, not rewrite yours. A woman may be drawn to your energy, your presence, your calm, but that doesn't mean you're meant to become her escape. Too many men mistake this emotional invitation as a sign of love, when often it's a momentary craving for attention or reassurance. Don't confuse curiosity with connection. In real life, many men fall into this trap, and they later wonder why they feel drained or entangled in situations that were never theirs to begin with. This is where the Stoic path stands tall. You observe, you understand, but you do not attach. Your silence, your restraint, your refusal to emotionally entangle, that's your power. As Seneca wisely said, sometimes even to live is an act of courage. In moments like these, simply not responding to emotional bait is a courageous act of emotional sovereignty. So next time you're met with an unexpectedly personal question from a woman who isn't free, pause, reflect. Ask yourself, is my answer feeding her confusion or honouring my values? A Stoic man doesn't respond to every call for attention. He responds to truth. Let your life be a mirror of strength, not a sponge for someone else's storm. If you've ever been in this situation, you know how tempting it can be to interpret those questions as flattery. But the truth is, they are often tests, not of attraction, but of your clarity and self-command. So I ask you, brother, how would you respond if you found yourself in this position? Would you lean in, Or would you step back with grace and strength? Share your thoughts in the comments. Do you agree with this Stoic approach? If you do, type, "I agree," and let others see that emotional power is quiet, not loud. Way 6. She maintains prolonged eye contact. When a woman maintains prolonged eye contact with you, she isn't just looking, she's speaking without words, revealing a truth most men are too distracted or too insecure to recognize. It's not a fleeting glance or accidental stare, it's a deliberate, sustained gaze that lingers just long enough to make your heart wonder. Most men dismiss it or nervously look away. But the modern Stoic doesn't flinch. He holds that gaze calmly and confidently, knowing that in that silent connection, something unspoken is being communicated. As the philosopher Seneca wisely said, "The eyes are the windows to the soul, and when she locks eyes with you, unwavering, steady, sincere, she's exposing a piece of that soul. She's showing interest, but more importantly, she's testing your composure." Because to a Stoic man, eye contact is not about dominance. It's about presence. It's about being here, now, unmoved, fully grounded. And here's what 99% of men don't know. When a woman gives you that look, she's checking if you are the kind of man who can hold space, who can lead the moment without saying a word. In modern life, where distractions are everywhere and men are often led by emotion, the one who stays calm under pressure, who reads her gaze not as a challenge, but as an invitation, becomes magnetic. Eye contact from a woman isn't just about attraction. It's about trust. It's about vulnerability. And if she dares to be vulnerable first, you must respect that sacred signal. Don't blink too soon. Don't look away in fear or arrogance. Let her see that your mind is clear, your emotions are steady, and your soul is unshaken. That is how a modern Stoic wins, by mastering the art of reading what others miss and responding with quiet strength. So next time a woman holds your gaze a second too long, don't ignore it. Don't question your worth. Recognize it for what it is, a silent declaration that she's drawn to something powerful in you. And if this speaks to your experience, hit like, leave a comment saying, "Her eyes spoke first," and don't forget to subscribe for more insights that reveal what most men overlook. Remember, the strongest move is often made in silence. Way 7. She adjusts her appearance when she sees you. This subtle yet powerful behavior often flies under the radar, but it speaks volumes. When a woman, especially one you don't know well, instinctively reaches up to adjust her hair, smooth down her blouse, tweak her neckline, or even glance at her reflection in a nearby window as soon as she spots you, it's not an accident, and it certainly isn't vanity. These actions are known as preening behaviors, and they are anything but random. They are deeply rooted in evolutionary psychology and have been ingrained in human behavior for centuries. These subtle grooming actions are meant to make her appear more attractive to someone she finds appealing. And in this case, you are the one who has caught her attention. She's not adjusting her appearance because she's obsessed with herself or because she needs validation from a mirror. She's doing it for you. Modern psychology confirms that these grooming actions are not conscious decisions, but subconscious signals. When a woman adjusts her look, she's quietly signaling that she perceives you as someone desirable and worth impressing. It's a primal, instinctual behavior designed to attract attention from someone she finds appealing. Now, here's where the power of Stoicism becomes so crucial. A lesser man might misinterpret or overreact to such gestures, thinking it's a sign of vanity or arrogance. He might even feel insecure, unsure about whether her actions are genuine. But the Stoic sees through this surface-level interpretation. As the great philosopher Epictetus once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." This is a reminder to observe the full picture, her actions, not just her words. In this case, those actions speak far louder than anything she might say aloud. The Stoic mind understands that these small gestures are often far more meaningful than what's verbally expressed. Her instinctive need to appear her best when she sees you is something she likely won't directly admit, but her body language reveals what her words cannot. If she adjusts her hair, her blouse, or even glances at herself before approaching you, it's a sign that you have captured her attention. It's not merely a neutral or accidental response. It's a clear signal that you have entered her sphere of awareness, not as a bystander, but as someone who matters. This is where many men miss the mark. Instead of recognizing this as a signal of attraction, they might overanalyze, panic, or overcompensate. But the Stoic approach is different. Instead of acting from insecurity or seeking external validation, a Stoic man maintains control over his emotions, responding calmly and with purpose. Real-life application? Instead of reacting like a boy desperate for signs of approval, respond like a man of value. Notice her behavior, but do not chase it. Acknowledge her actions, but do not crumble under the weight of them. The Stoic response is to observe from a place of grounded power, knowing that attraction is not something you need to force or manipulate. It is something you simply observe, acknowledge, and let it exist naturally without attachment. Your self-worth isn't tied to her actions. It's solidified in your own sense of value and confidence. What's truly important here is understanding that these small, seemingly insignificant adjustments of her appearance are not random. They are, in fact, one of the most authentic and primal signs of attraction. When she makes an effort to present herself well in your presence, it is a sign that you hold a special place in her thoughts. She's not performing these actions for herself. She's performing them for you. It's a reflection of her interest, a glimpse into her desire to impress and connect with you. And this is where you, as a man of wisdom, must take control. The next time you notice her adjusting her appearance when you enter the room, don't ignore it. Don't overthink it, and certainly don't let it make you feel as though you have to prove something. See it for what it is, an instinctual signal of attraction. The simplest acts, those little, often overlooked gestures, can speak the loudest. As the great Leonardo da Vinci once said, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. In the case of attraction, sometimes the smallest, simplest actions hold the greatest meaning. Now, think about it in practical terms. Imagine walking into a room and you notice her immediately adjusting her hair or adjusting her outfit when she sees you. Instead of doubting or overthinking what it means, appreciate it for what it is. It's her silent acknowledgement that you have caught her attention, and she wants to look her best around you. Do not chase this attention, but simply acknowledge it, knowing that attraction is being expressed through these subtle, instinctual actions. Stoicism teaches us to remain grounded, to observe the world without reacting impulsively. When you see these signals of attraction, understand them for what they are, primal cues of desire that need no validation from you. Your value, grounded in Stoic wisdom, allows you to recognize attraction in its purest, most subtle form. You don't need to force anything, and you certainly don't need to crumble under the weight of her actions. Instead, remain steady, observant, and confident. Her appearance adjustments are not about seeking your approval. They are about expressing a desire for connection and attraction. You don't need to overanalyze these signs. Simply acknowledge them, stay grounded in your own self-worth, and respond with the quiet strength of a true Stoic. Remember, attraction often speaks in gestures, not words. When you observe her actions, stay composed and respond from a place of power. As the Stoics would advise, master yourself and the world will follow. Next time you witness this behavior, see it for what it truly is, a subtle, silent message saying, I care what you think of me. Let that recognition give you confidence, not insecurity. Let it remind you that, in your grounded, Stoic state, you are already everything she is seeking, and more. Way 8. She smiles genuinely. A smile is far more than just a polite social gesture. It is an unconscious expression that speaks volumes about what is happening inside her mind and heart. When a woman truly feels attracted to you, her smile won't be calculated, artificial, or merely a reflex to be polite. It will flow naturally, like sunlight breaking through clouds after a storm. This is not just any smile. It's a genuine, authentic one that reflects how she feels about your presence. Psychologists call this the Duchenne smile, and it's easy to recognize. It's marked by the soft lifting of the cheeks, the subtle crinkling around the eyes, and a warmth that radiates beyond the surface. The beauty of this smile lies in its authenticity. It's something that cannot be faked, at least not consistently, because it comes from an emotional truth, a deep place inside her where her feelings are being openly expressed without any pretense. But here's where most men miss the point. They mistake every smile for a sign of interest, or, even worse, they overlook the real one amidst the sea of everyday pleasantries and polite exchanges. Men tend to react to any smile, often assuming it means attraction or affection, when in reality, a smile alone is just the surface-level communication. However, if you take the time to observe, if you practice patience and awareness, you will be able to distinguish between the smiles that are simply kind gestures and those that reveal deeper feelings. A genuine smile isn't just a smile, it's a powerful signal. It tells you that she feels comfortable, at ease, and that she is drawn to your presence. It's not because you entertained her or impressed her with your words. It's because you made her feel something genuine. You've stirred something inside her, and that's why that smile radiates a sense of warmth and attraction. Now, let's take a step back and look at this through the eyes of a Stoic. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most influential Stoic philosophers, once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This simple yet profound statement holds the key to understanding the power behind a woman's genuine smile. When she smiles at you in such a heartfelt way, you are witnessing her innermost thoughts and emotions being reflected on her face. If her thoughts are aligned with comfort, admiration, or even desire, her smile will reveal it long before her words ever do. A woman's facial expressions are often more honest than anything she could ever say. However, as a Stoic, you must not let yourself be swept away by appearances. It's easy to get carried away with the rush of emotions when a woman smiles at you, especially when that smile is genuine and full of warmth. But this is where you must remain calm and composed. You must observe her smile with clarity and awareness, without jumping to conclusions. No chasing, no assumptions, no desperation. Just pure observation. In today's world, where so many men are constantly chasing after validation and attention, this practice of calm observation is the secret weapon of the Stoic man. While others may be quick to interpret every smile as an invitation or a sign of attraction, you, as a Stoic, understand the power of patience and self-restraint. You don't need a woman's smile to validate your worth because you are already complete in yourself. You are grounded in your own purpose, confident in your own value, and you don't need external validation to feel whole. The key to attraction lies in being centered and strong in your own identity. And when a woman sees that you are not easily swayed by fleeting moments of external validation, she will be drawn to you even more. Attraction is not about being loud or desperate for attention. It's about being still, calm and composed. It happens in the silence. It's about standing firm in your own power and allowing that energy to emanate out without having to chase or seek. Think about it. In today's noisy world, where everyone is vying for attention, the power of a genuine smile is often overlooked. Yet you, as someone who understands the deeper meaning behind a woman's expression, know just how potent this simple gesture can be. You understand that a real smile is not just a facial expression, it's an invitation into her emotional world. When a woman smiles at you like this, you're seeing the reflection of her thoughts, the subtle hint of her feelings. And that, my friend, is where the true power lies. When you understand the nuances of body language and emotional expression, you see things for what they truly are, not for what you want them to be. You're no longer fooled by surface-level gestures. You see deeper. So the next time you catch her smiling at you in this way, don't ask her why. Don't jump to conclusions or try to read too much into it. You already know why. You know that this smile is a reflection of her emotions, a direct sign of her comfort and attraction. You've learned to read beyond the surface, to observe the subtle signals that many others miss, and in doing so, you've gained a powerful skill that not only helps you understand her, but also enhances your own ability to remain calm, centered, and unshakable in the face of any situation. Now, I want to leave you with a question to think about. Have you ever experienced a smile that made you pause? One that made you wonder if there was something deeper behind it? A smile that lingered in your mind, like there was more to it than just the surface-level warmth? If you've had this experience, I want to hear about it. Drop a comment below and share your story with us. Let's learn together to read the unspoken language of the world, one smile at a time. Because when you can understand the silent signals of attraction, you are not only mastering the art of communication, you are mastering the art of understanding people on a deeper level. And that, my friend, is one of the most powerful skills you can possess. Way 9. She initiates physical contact. Let's dive into one of the most powerful yet subtle signs of attraction, a woman's initiation of physical contact. Many men overlook or underestimate this sign, but it can be one of the clearest indications of interest, especially during a greeting. This isn't a casual gesture. It's something worth paying attention to. Physical contact, whether it's a soft touch on your arm as she talks, a subtle brush of her hand as she walks past, or a hug that lingers just a little longer than what's socially expected, is a language that transcends words. Touch bypasses our intellectual mind and speaks straight to our emotions. It taps into something primal, something deeply human. When a woman makes the first move to touch you, it can be seen as a gesture of connection, an unspoken message saying, "I feel safe with you, and maybe I want something more." It's not a conscious attempt to seek attention or create drama. Rather, it's an emotional cue that she's comfortable enough to let down her guard and physically close the distance between you. Think of this like a silent knock on the door of intimacy, a subtle yet profound invitation that she's opening up to you in ways she might not express verbally. The power of touch lies not only in the act itself, but in the context and consistency of it. One touch may be a coincidence or a fleeting moment, but when it happens regularly, especially during those initial greetings, it becomes something much more significant. It's her way of saying, "I'm interested in you. I want to be closer to you." In today's world, where personal space is often more guarded and protected, voluntary physical closeness carries weight. It means something. As the Stoics taught, observe with detachment, act with intention. This wisdom is key. When a woman initiates physical contact, it's important not to misinterpret the action or overreact. Instead, take a step back, evaluate the moment, and approach it with a calm, grounded presence. It's not about chasing after her touch or reading into every gesture with anxiety. Rather, it's about recognizing that these small, intentional actions are messages that speak louder than words. She might be saying something she isn't ready to articulate, and it's your role to observe it with clarity and patience. A Stoic man doesn't need validation from these gestures. He doesn't overanalyze or dwell on every detail. He simply notices what is. In the noise and distractions of the modern world, it's rare to encounter moments where people are so open and vulnerable, especially in social interactions. A woman's touch, especially when it's repeated and intentional, breaks through the superficial layers of communication and speaks directly to the soul. It's an invitation to something deeper, and if you're wise enough to notice, it could reveal a lot about her unspoken feelings. As Helen Fisher once said, touch is not optional, it is a human necessity. It's one of the most basic and fundamental ways humans connect. When a woman reaches out physically, it may be her way of letting you know that she's ready to bridge the emotional gap between you. Touching is not just a biological impulse, it's a subtle form of connection, one that shows she's comfortable in your presence and that perhaps there's an underlying interest to explore. However, don't let your ego distort this moment. As a Stoic, it's not about seeking reassurance or validation. It's about noticing the significance of what is happening and responding to it with grace and maturity. If she initiates physical contact, take a mental note, but don't act out of impulse. Stay grounded in your own center. The Stoic approach is one of mindfulness, not reaction. It's not about chasing affection or responding with eagerness. It's about responding thoughtfully and with a sense of calm. This is where many men fail. They either become too eager, misreading her gestures, or they overlook the cues altogether, missing out on what might be an important sign of interest. But if you embrace the Stoic perspective, you'll learn to see that every touch, every interaction, is a potential moment of connection. If you've ever experienced this kind of physical initiation from a woman, perhaps in a greeting or another subtle encounter, take a moment to reflect. What did it mean to you? How did you respond? The key is not to rush or feel the need to act on every physical cue you receive. Instead, embrace the power of awareness, understanding that these gestures often reveal more than words could ever express. They show a deeper level of interest, and it's your role to acknowledge it with dignity, rather than acting out of need or desperation. In a world full of distractions and surface-level interactions, these subtle moments of physical connection are becoming rarer. When a woman initiates physical contact with you, it's a chance to recognize something meaningful. But remember, it's not about seeking validation or clinging to the moment. It's about observing, understanding, and responding with wisdom. Have you ever had a woman initiate physical contact during a greeting? Perhaps you noticed it, but you didn't understand what it meant. Or maybe you didn't notice it at all. Share your experiences in the comments below. Your story could help another man recognize these subtle signs in his own interactions. By sharing, we not only learn from each other, but continue to grow in our understanding of relationships, attraction, and the Stoic path to inner strength. Stay aware, stay grounded, and let these moments guide you to deeper connections. Remember, the power lies in noticing, not in reacting. Keep your mind sharp, your heart open, and your responses thoughtful. This is how a true Stoic navigates relationships and attraction. Thank you so much for tuning in today, gentlemen. I hope these signs have given you a fresh perspective on how to interpret a woman's greeting and behaviour. As we dive deeper into Stoicism, we learn that it's not just about controlling our reactions, but also about becoming more aware of the subtle cues that the world gives us. A woman's greeting is a perfect example of how powerful actions can be, often speaking louder than words themselves. Through Stoicism, we understand that it's the way we observe the world without judgment or haste that gives us clarity. It's about grounding ourselves, staying calm, and not being swept up by emotions that might otherwise cloud our judgment. These signs aren't just about decoding behaviour. They're a reminder that emotional intelligence, when paired with the wisdom of Stoicism, allows us to understand situations with greater insight. If you've ever experienced a moment where you were able to read between the lines of someone's greeting or behaviour, or maybe you've caught yourself reacting in a way that felt in line with Stoic wisdom, I'd love to hear all about it. Your experiences are powerful, and sharing them not only helps you reflect, but also contributes to others learning how to apply these principles. So take a moment to think about the next time you encounter someone whose behaviour seems puzzling. Instead of reacting impulsively, remember to pause, observe, and respond with the grace of a Stoic. It's not just about decoding someone's intentions, it's about maintaining control over your own emotional landscape, and that's where true power lies. I want you to leave today with this. Stoicism teaches us that our true strength comes from how we respond, not how we react. If you've seen any of these signs or decoded a woman's behaviour before in a way that changed the course of your interaction, share your story in the comments below. I'm eager to hear your thoughts and experiences as they help others grow in their journey too. Let's continue this conversation and build a community rooted in wisdom, strength, and emotional mastery. As always, stay strong, stay grounded, and remember, wisdom is an ongoing practice. Don't rush the journey. Take your time. The more you observe, the more you grow. Stay mindful, stay stoic, and always keep pushing yourself toward greater wisdom. I'm grateful for each one of you who's joined today. Until next time, keep cultivating your inner strength and streaming that wisdom into the world. I'll see you in the next video. Next.